Hey, what is up, you guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys all of my Raptor figures that I have in my collection, so let's just hop right into it.
The first figure is the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Blue. This figure is pretty awesome because it was one of the first figures I ever got for Jurassic World, and I think the sculpt is still pretty good. Yeah, Mattel has improved since this, but this figure is still awesome, and I would definitely recommend picking this guy up for your collection, and he definitely has a very special place in my heart. Next up, we have Ekko. Now, Ekko is pretty cool because I would say that she is probably my second favorite in the Raptor squad, with Blue obviously being first, and I think this figure does represent Ekko pretty well, and it has some pretty decent articulation, and it does pair up really good with Blue, so yeah, moving on. Next up, we have the two Raptors from Jurassic Park. These Raptors are pretty cool. They are my only Jurassic Park Raptors I have in the collection, so I do love them a lot. I think they're from the Dr. Ellie Sattler and John Hammond set, and they're pretty fun to pose too. I also like posing them with the T-Rex to depict the final battle, and I think it looks very awesome. But yeah, these figures are pretty solid, and I definitely recommend adding them into your collection. Next up, we have the Dino Rivals Blue. Now, I love this figure so much because it has a very, very good blue sculpt, and this was my definitive blue until I obviously got the Hammond collection figure. But just posing this thing looks very awesome. It looks just like Blue, and here's a pose with it with Rexy and the Indominus Rex. This figure also has a very awesome slashing action as well. But moving on. Next up, we have a Velociraptor Red. Now, I really like this figure because I don't know what it is. I just really like the colors, and I love the way this figure looks. It is very awesome. It looks very cool to pose as well, and the Velociraptor squad is pretty awesome. And here it is fighting Velociraptor Blue, and I think this is pretty awesome. Now moving on. Next up, we have the newly released Wild Roar Utah Raptor. Man, oh man, is this figure awesome. It is the first ever Utah Raptor Mattel has given us, and it does not disappoint. I love the feather detailing that this figure has as well. And this figure also has some pretty good action features, so listen. And here it is after it has beaten all of the other Raptors. But let's move on to the next figure. Next up, we have the one and only Indoraptor from Fallen Kingdom. This figure is another very good figure. It looks pretty much like the Indoraptor we see in the film. Yes, it has some differences from the film, and it doesn't look 100% screen accurate, but I still think that this figure looks pretty menacing all around. It also is very cool to pose this guy next to Velociraptor Blue. This figure also has some very good articulation. It's probably on to the same level as the Hammond collection. But let's move on to the next Raptor. Now moving into some Hammond collection, we have the Hammond collection Tiger Velociraptor from the Lost World. And this is my newest Raptor figure that I've gotten, and I actually think that it's pretty good. I love the glass eye on this figure. It looks very awesome and improved from the other ones. I don't know why this figure was getting a lot of hate. Yes, I know that it does have some bad quality control issues, but I got a pretty good copy. I think this is supposed to depict the male Tiger Velociraptor, and I think it does a pretty dang good job. And this is probably one of my favorite Raptor figures I have in my collection. But let's move on to the next figure. Now we have the Hammond collection, a Velociraptor Ghost. Yeah, this is probably the best Velociraptor I have in my collection, obviously, because I only have one more. And I think Ghost is probably my favorite Velociraptor in general, because he has a really cool red eyes, and I think this figure does represent him pretty well from how we see him in the film. he is also just a little bit bigger and bulkier than the regular Velociraptors in the Hammond collection. But let's move on to the next figure. Now, these final two figures are the Hammond Collection Delta and Velociraptor Blue. And yeah, these are probably maybe my favorite of the Raptor, like the Velociraptor figures I have in my collection. They just look really good next to each other, and you can't have one without the other. So I'm really hoping that eventually down the road, Mattel will eventually end up giving us a Charlie and an Ekko to go alongside these two amazing figures. And this has been my entire collection. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have not yet, make sure to please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell to turn on post notifications so you'll never miss another video. And if you'd like to support the channel a little bit more, consider purchasing a channel membership, link in the description. And let me know what your guys' favorite Raptor figure is in your collection. And this has been Erwin Goji14, signing out. Bye guys.